Hey people, I'm going to speak a little bit in this video about something I don't often cover, which is health. Um, Browsing the internet last night, I came across a video by a guy called John Barman. You may be familiar with this if you're guys out there who are thinking about building your body a little bit. I'm not talking about bodybuilding necessarily, but improving your physique. This is called the Adonis Golden Ratio Index, and it's sort of a motivational type video, and it's selling the products. And sort of got me thinking. I wanted to upload a video about this subject because I've come across a lot of this sort of stuff in the last few years. The first thing I done after the video was looked up reviews of John Barman, and saw what the general consensus was on this guy, if he can be trusted, that sort of thing. I'm not going to do it, by the way, because I don't have the money, but just as a subject of interest. Now, generally he got pretty good reviews. Most people seem quite happy with the products they received. I've just read a more negative review about his partner, his business partner, Kyle Leon. Now, by the way, I'm not bad-mouthing these guys, I'm just quoting what other people have said. The person bad-mouthing Kyle Leon said that he ordered something from him and he never received a thing. In other words, he paid $200 Canadian dollars and didn't get a thing. And he called Kyle Leon a scam artist. It's not my position to say whether they are or they aren't. However, there is some things that catch my attention about these sort of promotions, health promotions, that absolutely you find all the time on the internet. One thing is the sort of language that is used is very optimistic. It's very sort of, a lot of words are thrown in there like incredible, amazing, you won't believe what I found, this sort of rhetoric. And it's almost like motivational speaking. The people who are involved in this are very clever entrepreneurs, in my opinion. They know how to get people's attention, and they know how to suck people in. That sounds negative. I'm not saying they're scam artists. I believe that some of it probably does have the effects that they talk about. The problem is, you could be so overwhelmed by information about what is good for your body, what isn't. If you're someone who is trying to develop, I mean, I'm a man, I'm speaking primarily here to other guys, because obviously a woman's body is a different shape and so on, so it's slightly different. Although he has catered for women as well with his, I think it's called the Venus program, something like that, which has allegedly been a scam. I am someone who has tried to develop my build a bit more in recent years. It's something, I don't lose sleep over it, it's not the number one priority in my life, but it is something I think about. At the moment I think I have an average body. I don't think I have a bad body, but I don't think it's still not quite what I'd like it to be. It's healthy, I don't have any weight problems or anything like that, but it's not really, it's an average body. I have no six pack, my build is okay, it's average. The point I'm making is, there is a sort of physique that I have in my mind that I'm aiming for. If I really had the money and I thought that it would be worth considering, I would look at one of these sort of programs. But the problem is about trust, because in the end of the day all you have is the entrepreneur's word for it. And okay, you'll have people giving good testimony, but how do you know they're not being paid by the company to do that? And I don't think this is being excessively cynical, I think it's just pragmatic questions. Because the way I see it is, you know, these people talk about they want to help other guys, they're fascinated by nutrition, they're fascinated by this and that, it's a passion in life. But then, in the end of the day, it's also a business, and that's something that you can't lose sight of. And for me, that doesn't mean that they're lying, but it is a factor. They're clever entrepreneurs, and they know the sort of language to use in order to, you know, these are very, very confident people, which is what a good entrepreneur should be. But whether or not the program actually works is another question. some of the advice it gives seems practical. For example, it's not all about weightlifting. I think that sounds practical. I do think it's unhealthy to always focus on weightlifting, and it can actually be detrimental, cause health effects. But if you're like me and you do want to improve your physique a bit, I wonder what your views are on this, about these sort of online promotions. I mean, I'm quoting this as one example, but there's many others out there. What's your opinion of supplements? Have they made any difference to your life? I think one thing that's important, if you're trying to develop abs, for example, as I am, it's not just about exercising, it's also about what you're actually eating. That's something I'm starting to consider a little bit more. Now, I'm not financially strong these days, so I don't feel that I'm in a position to get exactly the sort of food I want. In fact, my financial position really isn't strong, so I could afford 1 or 2 meals of that sort of the sort of nutrition that I'm looking for, but not on a regular basis, because I don't have a regular income. I'm essentially unemployed, in fact. So in my own situation, I'm waiting to sort my life out financially before I even think about this. But I'm just putting this out here as an open question. What is the general consensus to viewers watching this video? Do you think these sort of online programs are trustworthy? Do you think they are all a big scam? But what's your thoughts on it? I mean, I think you see guys with abs that they've obviously done something in their life to have got to that stage. No one's born like that, so they've obviously developed it. What I suspect is a lot of it's true. A lot of the techniques that they're using are legitimate. However, there's some fabrication in there, because after all, they are businesses. I mean, one thing that caught my attention in his promotional video was he kept saying, you need to take this opportunity now, you need to take this opportunity now. I don't know how long I can keep this up. Now, what he meant was a video. I'm not quite sure what he meant by that. I don't know if he meant that, I mean, to me that's strange. I'm thinking, well, if you're a legitimate offer, why is there a problem with promoting it? So I was slightly suspicious about that. What I would say, in my own opinion, people should be very careful about investing money in something that they're not 100% sure about. Of course, at times in life we have to take a risk. Maybe it's true that you can never be 100% sure. So sometimes in life you have to take a risk. I mean, this is all unrelated, but when I went to China, I went through a company, and that company distributed teachers across China. You know, at the time I thought, is this company legitimate? Because many companies in China are not. Well, as it turned out, they were. They done what they said. Now, if someone's contacted me, I'll just leave it there, but let me know your thoughts on this. Cheers.